This is Ismail Al-Ghoul, the 27-year-old Al Jazeera reporter in Gaza, a key voice in the Gaza Strip who reported almost daily over the last 10 months on Israel's brutal war in Gaza. A calm, eloquent young man loved and cherished by those around him and across the Arab world. He was killed on Wednesday along with his colleague Rami al-Refee in a brutal, direct, targeted Israeli strike on a car they were in. They were both wearing press vests, and testimonies mentioned that the car they were driving in was clearly marked for press. The car was blown up from the front and Ismail's head was blown off from his body. Ismail was one of the brave journalists in Gaza who went from the south to the north of the Strip, reporting on the crimes Israel is committing against Palestinians. His colleagues in Gaza and those reporting from Al Jazeera studios were in shock and horror as they reported on the killing of their colleague Ismail.
استشهاد مراسل الجزيرة إسماعيل الغول والمصور رامي الريفي بقصف إسرائيلي استهدفهما في مدينة غزة.
Just that morning, Ismail and Rami were reporting from the al-Shatit refugee camp, the hometown of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, who was also killed by an Israeli strike earlier that morning in Tehran, Iran. For Al Jazeera viewers, Ismail was considered one of the eyes and ears of Gaza, showing the world the daily life and struggles that Palestinians in Gaza, with him amongst them, are forced to endure. He famously said,
"I'm not ashamed to stand in front of the camera and say, I am hungry. Many children ask me for food, but they do not know that I am like them. I do not sleep at night because of the hunger. Now there is no hunger, no fear, and no disappointment in heaven."
Back in March, Ismail was arrested by Israeli forces as he was reporting on Israel's siege of the Al-Shifa medical complex. He was severely beaten by Israeli forces and released after 12 hours. Ismail had a young daughter named Zaina, who hadn't seen her father for months as a result of his reporting duties across the Gaza Strip. Following the direct targeting of the two journalists, many journalists in Gaza gave emotional pleas and denounced the lack of protection of journalists in Gaza from Israeli attacks. When reporting on Ismail's killing, his colleague Hind Khodari explained the measures that journalists have been taking in Gaza to protect themselves from being targeted.
We do everything. We wear our press jackets, we wear our helmets, we try to not go to anywhere where it's not safe, we try to go to anywhere where to keep our security, but we have been targeted in normal places where normal citizens are. We're trying to do everything, but at the same time we want to report, we want to tell the world what's going on. It's heartbreaking to report this today, and it's heartbreaking to report Shireen's killing, Hamza's killing, and Samir's killing, and this is not the first time we're doing this, but every time it feels as if it's the first time. It's a great loss for us here, journalists in Gaza, and especially Al Jazeera's team losing such a colleague.
Ismail and Rami's direct killing comes 10 months into a war that has already killed over 125 journalists, mostly Palestinian. The Al Jazeera network condemned in the strongest terms the assassination of the two journalists and promised to pursue legal action against the perpetrators of these crimes.
Ismail Al-Ghoul, Al Jazeera, مدينة غزة.